All right, hey Shawnee, and I'm back with an episode of Shawnee's Lab. So today I want to come on here and talk about Charm seasons 1 through 3 and why I personally believe that the show, kind of went downhill after Shannon Doherty left. So first of all, I just want to talk about Shannon Doherty. She's actually one of my favorite actresses. She's up like literally in my top five, probably number one or two. She's well known for playing Heather Duke in the Heathers. She was also Brenda Walsh, the iconic Brenda Walsh, in the iconic 90210 series, and of course also known for playing Prue Halliwell on the very known famous show Charmed. So she's built up a reputation over the years as being an industry bitch, whatever that even means, and people for whatever reason still feel like she got fired from the set of Charmed, which she didn't. So what happened on the set of 90210 was, she was top billed. She was the top actress on 90210. All the writers loved her, the producers loved her because they said, they could do a rewrite within 5 to 10 minutes and she would deliver the lines. She's like, she was good. They said that they loved how much care she gave the lines in the scripts. Like she really was into her character, so they appreciated her for that. But she did have a lot going on with family. She was kind of a wild child. She liked to party, and she was also late a lot. Now, Aaron Spelling, he actually liked Shannon Doherty. He gave her a lot of chances, and the only reason why she got fired from 90210 and why we didn't get to see the iconic Brenda character until the new spinoff was because the cast, they were tired of her. They were sick of her. They didn't like her. They felt like she was always late. They felt like she halted productions. And honestly, I felt like they were jealous because, again, if you watch the 90210 unauthorized biopic, they show how she was top billed, how, everybody hated that. They were jealous of her. And again, it's not to excuse, her wild child behavior because she was a little wild, and she kind of probably was a little frustrated. But, that's not even what I want to talk about. I wanted to get on to Charm. So now let's jump into Charm. So it's okay. So she had to get, she got fired from 90210 because the cast was like, look, she has to go. We don't want her no more. So Aaron Spelling was like, well, damn. Like, what can you do if the whole cast bands against one person? What you gonna do? So then it came time for Charm, and who did he go looking for? Shannon Doherty. So Charm is about three sisters who find out that they are the most powerful witches of all time once their Grams dies. Great premise. The first season was really great. You got to see, the dynamics of the sisters and how, they were kind of, they weren't as close until, they all moved back into the house together. Then being witches brought them closer together. They had to protect each other. You had Prue, the oldest, who had the power of telekinesis. You had Piper, the middle sister, who had the power to freeze, which is the power their mother had, and Prue had the power that the grandmother had, which was, the grandma was telekinetic, Prue was telekinetic. Their mom was, she had the power to freeze, Piper got the power to freeze, and Phoebe had power of premonition. So, they were the most powerful witches of all time, known as the Charmed Ones. And seasons 1 through 3, if you notice, it was really, really dark. It was about, the witches, it was about their family history, and then by the third season, it had started really to get into, like the demons and the triad, and, like demonic hitmen. Like the show was really, really dark. And it had some really, really, really good episodes. And of course, Shannon Doherty's acting was phenomenal. Phenomenal. Now, the drama between her and Alyssa Milano, I don't really know too much about it because there's not really much that's said about it. But eventually, what happened was it got to a point where Shannon wanted off the show, and a lot of people think she got fired from Charm. She didn't. She wanted off the show. And if you notice, when Shannon Doherty left, so did a lot of the writers, and so did Constance M. Burge, who was actually the creator of Charm. Because Shannon and Constance, they wanted the show to stay dark. They like, showing, the witches, in action. They like showing, the dark side of magic as well as the light side of magic. But, like you remember in seasons 1 through 3, they had went into the past. They went to the future. They fought some of the scariest demons. We got to find out about the triad. Piper and Leo got married. Prue got a second power. Piper got a second power. Phoebe got to start levitating. So their powers were growing. Things like it was a really good, show, and it was also like really woke. Like a lot of the episodes, had to do with like real life, but they would use like magic, to fit it in. Like if you just really have to watch seasons 1 through 3 to really understand what I'm saying. And I'm not saying that Rosamund Gowen, didn't do, a good job because I'm not a hater. Rosamund Gowen, she did do a good job, but it just when Prue died, it just didn't make any sense. First of all, that episode, All Hells Break Loose, was one of the best episodes Charmed ever did. Like, that shit was so dark. First of all, they got exposed as witches. They were being attacked by the Shax demon, which was the source's hitman. Piper got shot. Phoebe was stuck in the underworld, and Prue had to use her magic on everyday ordinary people just to get Piper to the hospital. Piper ended up dying, and then remember, Tempest kept resetting the day. So if Shannon Doherty never wanted off the show, season 4 opening would have been, probably still been them, still trying to reset time and figuring out, like, what the fuck. And then, of course, when season 4 started, they were like, oh, Leo could only save, one sister. Like, first of all, the fact that she was the oldest sister, the most powerful sister, and that they were the charmed ones, and that they always either almost died, and the fact that one of them died, I do believe that added more to the whole darkness of the show. But to be fair, how does the most powerful sister die and never return? Like, you never saw her in the flashback. She never came back, as a ghost. Like, just nothing. You know how the mom and everybody came back, like people from the future, the past, but you never saw the character of Prue. They would only mention her, and that gave that, to me, that put a hole in the dark in the writing, as well as they had to create a whole nother sister, and like, it just, like, to me, Doherty wanting off the show, it put a real wrench into, the storyline of Charmed, and it really fucked. Like, 'cause you remember the future episode, it changed the future for them, like, it's just, and it didn't make any sense. How did you kill one of the most powerful witches of all time? How? And then, they had to make, Paige as strong, or try to make her as strong as Prue was. Like, I wasn't here for it. Like I said, if you go back and watch seasons 1 through 3, Doherty's acting was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. She, she delivered those lines. She was very into those scenes. Like, and I'm not even saying that just her. They all were doing a phenomenal job. I don't understand why the beef between her and Milano got that bad to where Doherty just wanted off the show. But even if you look at later seasons, you can kind of see why she wanted off the show. Like, look at seasons, like season 4 actually wasn't that bad, but seasons 5, 6, and 7, where it got really weird. It was like, it just, to me, the whole scenery of Charmed itself changed. And even, like Constance M. Burge, she wrote love interest in them because, she wanted them to still feel like regular women. But like she said, love interest wasn't supposed to be the main focus of the show. It was supposed to be about them being witches and battling everyday evils. And I agree with that. That made it an all-together show. And just them have a love interest made it, a little more interesting. But the love interest is never supposed to, stay. Like, she never wanted, the whole Phoebe and Cole thing. She didn't want that. So, y'all got to remember, when Doherty left, so did Constance and Burge. So, if the creator of the show was willing to leave because she was unhappy with the direction that the network wanted to go in. She wanted to go one way, and they wanted to go another way. So, Constance and Burge was like, whatever, I'm a writer. I'll just go create something else. So, she left the show, and so did Doherty. And, in my opinion, Charmed went downhill. And, it went downhill. Like, you got to really watch seasons 1 through 3. Like, what do y'all think in the comments? Let me know. 1 through 3. Do you feel like seasons 1 through 3 were the best seasons, or do you feel like, you just didn't like Shannon Doherty, or you feel like the first 3 seasons weren't good? Let me know.